Hello, everyone, and welcome to Feck Off Friday. We are very excited to begin another podcast today. We have Paws in the City joining us. Joshua Beltran is here, and Jim Garnister is also here with us. Jim, I'm going to let you do an introduction. Are you there with us?
I am. I'm here, and I'm glad. Hope everybody can hear me okay. I'm up in the mountains. I'm about 8,000 feet high, and it feels good. Uh, so, Pick Up Friday, here we are. Second edition. Last week was awesome. What we're all about is talking about the things that make you want to say "feck off." There's a lot of them, and we're excited to have Josh on. Josh has become a good friend of mine, and my family, Eric and I both have gotten very involved with Paws in the City. Quick story about Paws in the City. It was started by a guy named Mark Burma, good friend of mine. He started it back during Katrina days, and then he passed away from cancer about a year and a half ago. So it's really a sad deal. It's a good friend of ours. Wasn't a pretty thing at all, and ultimately now we're creating a program called Cancer Dogs in memory of Mark, and bless all the puppies. You know, he saved a ton of puppies. So excited to be here. So yeah, glad you're here, Josh.
Glad to be here as well.
Jamie, do you want to run it? Because I'm kind of...
Yeah. So, Josh, why don't you tell us a little bit about Paws in the City and what your guys' purpose is and, what you guys do just for dogs in general?
Sure. I want to know, like, is Jim climbing up a mountain? Is that what's happening right now? Yes, I'm with Paws in the City. Paws in the City is a rescue here in DFW. Our basic kind of mode of operation is we go to the shelters and go and pick some pups up and try to rehabilitate them, get them the medical needs that they might have, and put them in a foster home to help them with potential behavior issues, get them to training if we need to, and then get them into a forever home. That's rinse and repeat. Do it over and over again. It's an endless task, but it's out of the kindness of our hearts, and we love to do it. So yeah, that's what I'm here representing, and working with Jim on the cancer program. And it's new, so it certainly has some things that we're working out as we go along. But part of what we've done, or kind of how we have molded our rescue efforts over the years, is to focus a bit more on the dogs with medical issues. Obviously, there's a ton of dogs that you can look at to try to rescue, and it sometimes feels like you're boiling the ocean, I like to say. So our focus tries to be more on the dogs with behavioral or medical issues, and it kind of was a natural segue to work with Jim on the cancer program.
Awesome. And I'm not climbing up the mountains, but I can give you an idea of what I am doing. And this is kind of what I'm looking at right now. It's beautiful in Colorado. We got a little snow the first day we showed up here, and yeah, pretty awesome. So we're gonna have a big powwow between Paws in the City and Cancer Dogs in Colorado for sure.
Nice. I look forward to it. Are you gonna be skiing this weekend?
You know what? We might. Yeah, we really don't have plans. Copper Mountain's about an hour from the house. It's actually not open yet. They say it's opening up tonight or tomorrow with just the man-made snow areas, which I'm not a huge man-made snow guy.
Okay.
I'm not desperate to get out there that bad. It's like squeaky, and it's kind of like, fake.
Yeah, I lived in Oregon for a little while, and definitely didn't go unless it was real powder from the sky. I mean, that's where you want to go.
God, it's God's gift for sure. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, the whole concept of Cancer Dogs came about when Josh hit me up, and really we're here to talk about the stupid things people do to keep the people from being healthy. I think the biggest thing we talked about is that we focus on treating the root cause. And there's a lot of ways to fight cancer, a lot of ways people call it skin the cat or whatever you want to call it. But what we're finding out is that there's a couple major effectors that can really make your animal or your specifically dog healthier. Those are diet is huge, and then supplements, and then some type of a effector like a plant-based medicine, which we are focusing right now on a product that we call full extract cannabis oil. It's been around thousands of years. Everybody probably has heard that THC is bad for dogs. Well, guess what? It's not. Now, if you overload them, they're going to get high as hell, and then they're going to be a little bit whacked out for maybe an hour or two, but they're not going to die from it. They're not going to overdose from it. They're not going to have a bad trip and never want to come back to the house or anything like that. It's a sedative, or it's a high that they get that honestly will go down as you build up a tolerance with them. So there's a lot of misconception out there about using THC with animals and dogs. And like I said, it's a good one to start with a feck off for sure, because it's keeping people from using a product that actually is part of your immune system. You have an endocannabinoid system that actually makes you healthy. It keeps you healthy, and it's run by cannabinoids, and we're not allowed to do cannabinoids because it's illegal. And because it's illegal in a lot of states federally, that's really eliminating the ability for veterinarians and stuff to work with pet owners and dog owners. It's crazy. So Josh, I'd like to talk to you about that. What do you guys run into when you go into these vets that are trying to help the dogs? Do you see and we're not here to dog on veterinarians or our partners,
Sure.
but they've got their hands tied, right? I mean, I know they're not allowed in Texas to talk about CBD unless you bring it up to them. But what are you seeing when you go in and talk to these vets? Are they trying to push pills on these animals?
I don't know that I'd use the phrase push. I mean, it is certainly more conventional, the approach, but most vets are very open to understand that you may do or seek medical treatment on your own, however that may manifest. I did have a question though, in kind of some of the phrasing you were using. What is the difference between a supplement and what was the other word you used? I can't remember now.
There's an effector.
Effector, that's what it is. Yeah. So what's the difference between a supplement and an effector?
A supplement is more of a quality of, like, have you become healthy? It's not the cure. An effector is a cure. So a supplement is going to support. Number one thing about supplements, and when you're fighting cancer, is that you're going to kill a lot of cells that are cancer cells, and you have to get them out of your body. So that's what supplements are for, to support that. The effectors are the ones that are actually going in there, and that's what full extract cannabis oil does, is it actually goes in there and causes apoptosis, which is committing suicide. And so the basic effector goes in there and creates an environment where the cancer cell can't live. And it dies through apoptosis. And that's what we're talking about. There's a lot of effectors, like chemo is an effector, radiation is an effector. Surgery is an effector, which we don't believe in. We don't say we don't believe in any of those, but we always use those as a last resort, because normally it is a last resort. If it doesn't work, then it's over. And they say, well, go home and get your dog's affairs in order, because there's nothing else that we can do for them. And we want to try to what we try to do is create an environment where the dog is healthy, and then it fights its own fight. It cures itself based off of using effectors and supplements and diet change, and then the dog stays healthy. It's not like a lot of times people get a clean bill of health. They say you're in remission, ring the bell, congratulations, the cancer is gone. Well, then 3 months later, the cancer comes back. It's because they didn't kill the cause. They didn't treat the root cause. They treated the cancer, and the cancer is a symptom, just like a headache, just like a cold. Those are symptoms. And like I said, that's a good time to say, back off, man. You guys need to, as healthcare professionals, they have to, they get trained on the endocannabinoid system for 4 hours in their whole time they're in medical school. So think about that. One of the major things that help with your immune system, they focus on 4 hours, and they have no idea or aren't legally allowed to be able to work with you on keeping that endocannabinoid system healthy, because cannabis is federally illegal. So you kind of see where we're going here. It's kind of like,
and I remember Mark would have the liquid version,
the CBD.
yeah, or the drops, and I mean,
Yep.
is that in line as well, or is it just like a lesser version of it?
That what Mark had was it was a CBD with zero THC.
Okay.
And what that does, I believe, is it helps the dogs. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Now, it's not as much of an effector as it normally is. It's more of a, I would call it at that point, more of a supplement because for the cannabis, excuse me, for the cannabis to be an effector, it has to move the needle, and it has to have the full entourage effect. It can't just be one or two of the cannabinoids. It has to be all 100 of the cannabinoids, including THC, CBD, CBG, CBN, CBD, all these different ones that all work together to do the work that they do.
What hence is
That's
the gotcha here in Dallas, or rather in Texas, of limiting the availability of it, because if that's the case, or that's the recommendation, it's illegal here, right?
exactly. It's no doubt that's the thing about it. So when you go to a vet, one of my favorite vets, and he's a good friend of mine that I live close to in the Brookhaven area. He's currently retired, but he used to wear a pin on his shirt that would say, "Ask me about CBD." And I was like, "What's up with that?" He goes, "Well, you know what? We're not allowed to talk about CBD unless you bring it up to us first." So this really initiates conversation. I was like, "That's brilliant." So
Hmm.
we're working on a program. Jamie, do you want to talk a little bit about the program that we're working on with veterinarians? And Josh could be a huge part of helping us initiate this in Dallas.
Yeah, so we are our team has put together several different resources. So we've got some educational information, we've got some surveys for the caregivers of the dogs that help them keep track of their dog's progress, as well as it inputs into our database, which helps the more information that you provide on these surveys, the more information that we can pull from key data points of other survivors, and give feedback on what they used, what helped increase their quality of life. And we want to work with veterinary clinics. We want to work with adoption centers, um, and
Talk about the pin that we're
yeah,
going to do.
we want to provide a pin, like a pin for your shirt that says "Ask us about CBD" with a QR code to our playbook, because not every it's not acceptable to typically talk about this in a vet setting, in a veterinary setting. So unless they're asked. So, if they've got a pin on that says "Ask me about it," then that gives permission for them to speak about it.
Is that
Um,
like the gotchas when you get pulled over, like, what is it? You didn't ask for my license, so you can't arrest me, or is it like those one of those loopholes?
It's a loophole.
it's a loophole. It's a
It's a
loophole.
loophole. Exactly.
Jim had a buddy that used to do it, and it worked really well. So we're taking that idea and running with it. So we're gonna have just some no tech um, little pins available for veterinarians to wear, for adoption centers to wear as they're talking with their um,
At adoption shows or events where people are that actually
yeah.
have dogs. It happens, but
Yeah, yeah.
dog people love dog events and they support dog events, and that's what Paws does. Paws does a lot of different events throughout the locate Dallas Fort Worth area.
So
We don't.
I'm on the FECO playbook. Am I pronouncing it right? I always feel like I'm not pronouncing it right.
Feckle Playbook. That's it.
Yeah, I'm
Back
on
of
the
playbook.
FECO playbook on Facebook. And is that the primary location for all the information? I'm actually looking at the wheel here. Plant-based medicine, diet, supplements, remove toxin. I think I'm in the right area.
Are you on the fecoplaybook.org, or are you on the Facebook? If you're
I'm
on
on the
Facebook, that's
Facebook.
just our communication page.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
if you go to fecoplaybook.org,
So
that
you
that
said
site is
FICO.
Feco.
That's Feckle.
Sorry,
She knows.
Feco Playbook.
We're converting over. We're converting over. Pico sounds like you know what. So
Yeah.
we're trying
There
to
we
do what we can
go.
to yeah. It's like it kind of rhymes with gecko is really what we're trying to direct it at.
FECO,
Gecko,
gecko.
gecko. Yeah. That's our
I like the feck off. That I
feck
can
off
remember.
is that's why we want to go to fecko too, because you can officially say feck off and it makes sense.
Feck off.
So peek off doesn't do it, right?
No, that's weird. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. So for
But
anybody who's watching who wants to utilize what we have, our tools that we have, you can go to ficoplaybook.org, in
fecko.
the fecoplaybook.org.
Feck off, feck off, feck off. Yeah.
And go to the cancer dog section, and it'll um, give information on the Wheel of Hope. It's supplement based. There's information on frequency, and there's also an option to start your playbook. If you click that, it'll bring you to a profile that you'll set up, and from there we will message you, email you, and get you set up on it.
How do I actually get? I mean, I can't get these products here in Texas, right? Like that's the reality. What am I doing by signing up?
So go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say we give you we're a tools and resource group. We don't provide any of the medicine, but we give you ways to be able to get it. The best way to go is to either drive to Colorado or New Mexico. It's legal there.
Sure.
It's recreationally legal. You can go there and get what you need. You know, be careful driving back. But
is Oklahoma an option as well, or no?
Oklahoma's medical. So medical, you'd have to have a card, and you really can't get a card unless you're a card carrier from California. You can't even have a medical, and it's really weird. You can get a medical card in Texas now, but there's nowhere to get the medicine.
Sure.
But if you go to Colorado, or like I said, if you go to Colorado, you'd have to live there or know somebody that lived there to help you get the medicine. So it's kind of screwed up, you know. It's not a perfect world. You can make your own medicine too. We can help you do that. We have a video that shows you how to make it. It's not really easy to make, but it's very doable. It's fun to actually realize that what you're doing is working with the plants. That's it. There's no added, you know, special powder dust from a pharmaceutical that's going to make it do anything different. It's literally the full extract of the plant material, and that's it. You use a high-grade alcohol. What it does is it pulls all the cannabinoids out safely, and then you purge the alcohol out of the oil, and it leaves just the oil. It gets really thick, like a tar, and then you put it in a syringe and you apply it through the syringe. And you can do it with dogs. What you do is you break it down into where you turn it into a tincture, where you mix it with like some coconut oil or some salmon oil.
Mm-hmm.
You take the fecko and mix it in with the salmon oil, and then start giving them small dosages at like 2 drops for breakfast, and then maybe 3 drops for dinner, and it starts building up their tolerance. So just kind of watch them and see if they get really tired or anything like that. They're not gonna walk around stoned walking into the wall or anything like that unless you really overdose them big time. Like I said, they're not gonna die. Your dog's gonna be fine. She's just gonna be high as fuck for a while. So, and that's the worst thing that's gonna happen to them. And then the next time you do, it's not gonna be near as bad. They'll be able to tolerate more and more, which in the long run, this dog is gonna be healthier than they've ever been in their life. So it's ultimately, and we're trying to prove it. I mean, we're not only a company that takes these data points from patient-reported outcomes, we also have a research team that is pulling research from cannabis and cancer on over 100,000 different common denominators that are really starting to really register with us that it's working. They're saying the highest amount of success is in this research that they're doing right now. And it's really hidden from us. I mean, they don't want us to know this. The last thing they want is for us to realize that you can grow your own medicine. And that's what we're proving right now. And
yeah, I'm looking at some of the cancer dog stories here. Jack Russell, I think his name is Hammer, had lymphoma.
That's cool, isn't it?
And then did
we need more stories.
Infused oils and infused dog treats. It sounds like looks like the application.
Then that works perfect. There's great ones. That's what
6 months.
that's
Yeah.
how these stories help us, Josh. You know what I mean? We could sit there and read a Google Doc or whatever, and then try to tell you what it said. But these are all actual stories from human beings that had dogs that love them, that took care of them, and that were successful doing it. We also have a lot of stories that aren't successful, which kind of is what not to do, you know, in its own way. So you learn a lot there too. But that's what it's all about right there. It starts with the story. We support the results from the story with research, and then that's what creates the playbook.
So tell me again,
So
how do I, Jamie, tell me again, how do I sign up for this? I went to the login, register. That's what you do?
Currently for the cancer dogs, underneath the cancer dogs drop down, there's a sign up that says start your playbook.
Oh, I see. At the last start your playbook.
That in the future will be behind that login, but it's currently being built out.
Okay.
Yep. We are always improving. So
yeah.
we've got some goals. We've got it. It's functional right now. Is it the ideal the way that we want it? No, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
So, but it is functional.
What about if I want to donate to this cause to help the research and funding? Is there a donate to cancer, or do folks just do it through our org?
Right now, we'd like to go through Paws in the city, because you guys are awesome, and we'd like them, if they really want to support this program, make a note in your donation that it wants to go towards cancer dogs.
Yeah, and there's definitely options when you donate to select something specific. So okay, yeah, we're happy to take it that route as well.
Beautiful. Well, I don't know if anybody's watching, if anybody has any questions. Last week we had a lot of people involved that were one of the big things that we found out last week is there's a dispensary up in Oklahoma that's going to support what we're doing. They're already involved with our other program, working with humans and cancer, but they were so excited to know that we're actually working with pups.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we need to get
Last I
better at
checked,
it,
he was
Josh.
in the chat.
Oh, is he in the chat today?
I think last I checked he was, yeah. And I actually am going to invite him to be a guest speaker here in a couple weeks. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know we could work with some of the veterinarians, Josh, that you have worked with. I think it would be great to get in and just get in a common denominator between us, to where we definitely, they're our partners. They're going to be the ones that actually can probably direct people to us more than anybody else. And I know veterinarians have a lot of times where they just ultimately say, there's nothing that we can do for you. And those are the ones that we want, for one thing, we don't want to wait till then. But if that happens, there's a lot of miracles that have happened with what we do. And if you get on the medicine, and the sooner you get on it, you start seeing results. And we've seen things turn around, like from people going home to get their affairs in order to 3 months later, they're in full remission.
Wow.
So miracles can happen, man. And hope is what we're all about. We have our mascot's name is Hope. So
our
she's not a dog, she's a koala bear.
Yeah,
she's not a dog, she's a koala bear. Well, we'll be at we actually have an event that we're attending. It's Deep Ellum Brewery's 12th anniversary, and they have a couple things going on throughout the weekend, I think starting today. But we'll be out there Sunday from noon to 4. We'll have some pups out there, and obviously if you want to ask some questions about this, I'm happy to answer what I know, but might direct you to Jim directly or Eric or Jamie.
We're available.
So yeah, needless plug or selfless plug there. Selfish plug there, I think the right thing to say.
Plug away. Plug away.
Yeah.
Plug away, man. You guys are doing such great work, Josh. We're so happy to be working with you, man.
I'm gonna miss my Sunday football on I guess I could watch it on my phone.
We've got a comment.
Exactly.
We've got a comment in the chat that says, I lost both my service dogs to cancer. Both were chocolate labs.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, Sherry. I'm sorry. I know that's hard.
We can do better.
Yeah.
We can do better.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a whole team, and that's what we're putting together. I mean, we're building not only a team of people like us that really care. I'm a dog owner, but more importantly, we're building a team of caregivers that have helped their dogs successfully or not, like Sherry. Sherry's going to be one of our rock stars in the future. I know people that have that happen to them. We're already working with another girl named Amanda that had the same thing with her dog. She told me that they needed to have a surgery. The only way they were going to save their dog was to have a leg amputated, and they couldn't get into the vet soon enough to even have it done before the dog passed away. So she's super. She's like, back off, man. That's, you know what I mean? If she would have known about us, she could have got on the medicine immediately. Amazing things could have happened. You never know. I mean, what we've seen happen there are sometimes the doctor says, hey, you have cancer. Come in 2 months, we're going to have chemotherapy start. Literally, that's how they do it, because they go, we're too busy to start today, which we should. So we've had people get on the medicine, get on the program, change their diet, probably the number one thing, start doing all the effectors that all the different stories recommend. And then by the time they go into the doctor, guess what? Cancer is gone, or it's way reduced. And the doctor's just looking, shaking his head going, what the F, man? You know, what the feck off, basically.
I was gonna say that. It's like gonna be like in my head, like you put an earworm in my head now. I'm gonna say feck off all the time.
Hey, Jim, why don't we talk about petting with purpose? Because that's early recognition is critical, man.
Yeah, right on. No, that's cool. And what Jamie's referring to is that we run a charity. It's a cancer prevention charity called Early Recognition is Critical. It's an acronym for Eric. Eric is my son. Eric is also a board member of Paws and also a good friend of Mark Burma's. But petting with the purpose is meaning that everybody pets their dog, but does everybody pet their dog with the intention of making sure that their dog is in a good shape and doesn't have any lumps or bumps or any kind of skin tags that they might want to be aware of? And that's what it's all about is, take the time, do that. Don't be freaked out if something happens. It doesn't mean it's cancer if you find something. It just means that you need to get on it and do something about it, and that's what we do is we help treat the root cause. And a lot of times the root cause is just a bacteria or virus. It has nothing to do with cancer at that point, and more than anything, if you get them healthy, honestly, I've got Kira on raw food right now. I am so impressed. Her poop quit stinking about a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I'm a big believer in pick that stuff up and check it out and make sure it's they're having good solid poops and stuff like that. And all of a sudden it started not stinking as much. And what I do is I feed her a freeze-dried raw food with a carrot and celery topper. So I feel like I'm cooking her dinner when I'm doing it, which is kind of fun. But she has become a very healthy, her fur and coat is amazing. She's happy. She's pooping like a rock star and it doesn't stink. I mean, who doesn't want that, right?
Right.
So Jim, why did y'all change the slogan? I like the original slogan. Does Jamie know the original slogan?
She probably does. Tell us what that is, Josh.
Oh, you want me to say it? Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I didn't come up with it, but I thought it was very creative. It was pet your kitties and your titties. I thought that was fantastic.
That's one of your board members came up with that, man.
You can't come up with a better slogan than that.
You can't make that shit up, right?
Look, that's the first time I've heard that one, but I just jotted it down over here.
It's good, isn't it?
It's really good, man. It's really, and the way the women got in, and they bought into it, like, heck yeah, let's go. And that's what
it was a woman who came up with the idea. I will say that. I just applauded it.
and Josh, what we do at Eric is we run a program called Global Public Health, and I'm doing a shameless post too here. So what we do is we do breast self-exams in 4 different countries. We're in Uganda, Venezuela, Colombia, and India. And we have a team of people on the ground that are actually going out into the villages and the environments where people don't have insurance and don't have education and don't even know breast cancer exists. And we're doing and educating them on what breast cancer is and how to find it yourself. And if you do find it, what to do with it, how to go, where to go, who to talk to. And we're honestly saving lives all over the world, man. And extremely excited about that. But that made us get better at what we're doing with what we're doing with like Paws in the City. We're learning how important early recognition is. And with
And
the
that's
dog,
part of Eric as well. The early recognition is critical.
that's Eric's all about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And Eric is my son.
Speaking
He's a
of
3-time
Eric,
cancer survivor.
Oh, is he
Oh
here? He
yeah.
just
I
joined.
believe he just joined us.
I'm trying to
Did
go to
he?
the website for Eric, but I
Yeah,
can't
I'm on.
seem to find it.
Hey Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, y'all. Sorry, it took me a little while. Better late than never.
I
Say
hope you're
hello.
having a fantastic day
Sitting,
today.
sitting in my truck. I've had better Fridays, but I'm in Colorado, so it could be worse.
I'm
Hope everyone else is doing well.
jealous. I'm jealous.
Yeah,
I wish I was in Colorado. Y'all have
yeah.
fun.
Uh,
Um, we
Eric's
have,
first Spec Off podcast.
well, welcome. We have a
First of
question in the
many.
we have a question in the comment section. Um, so the question is, so is Fico okay for dogs? I know we kind of touched on this, but let's re-answer this. Yes, Fico is safe for dogs. He
Becko.
Feco, man,
Spec
today I don't
Off.
know what's Feck off. I don't know what's up with me today. Yes, Feco is safe for dogs. The dosing that you give your dog may vary, and you may want to consider a CBD in addition to that. There is more information on our website, ficoplaybook.org. But yes, it is safe for dogs.
I'm sure it's
And
dependent on
there's
weight, right? Like the size of the dog, the age of the
Yes,
dog. Those things matter. Yeah.
it matters.
absolutely. Yes, Josh, size matters. Spec
Yeah,
Off.
yeah. I definitely don't want to give my Chihuahua the dose I would give a Husky.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's really all about like watching you. Everybody knows their dog, and a big part of our program with humans and dogs is self autonomy, uh, patient autonomy. We want you to be responsible for the results, because if you leave it up to somebody else, they don't care. They really don't care. You might get somebody that really gives a good impression that they're there, and then they go to the next person and they forget all about you. So you got to take responsibility for this. And I don't say feck off to everybody, but honestly, grab it by the reins, and go with it, and make sure that you are responsible for the outcome of not only your life, but your dog's life. You know how they say on the airplane, always put the mask on you first, and that way you can help a lot more people. That's why what we're doing, we know it's affecting not only dog owners, but dog owners are going to start realizing that they can live healthier too because of their dog. That's going to be pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
we all read the post when dogs get sick. I think people are more upset when their dog gets sick than their kid is sick. You know what I mean? And honestly, that's kind of sad, but true. But it's true, man. I mean, you read the way that people are affected by their dog being sick it, to me, makes me realize that we can spend a lot of money on prevention and making where your dog doesn't get sick. Hopefully, all these stories that we learn, all these things that we learn, different types of breeds get certain types of cancers at certain ages because of certain things. We can learn that and then help other people in the future not do those things that cause it, right? That's prevention. Ultimately, that will be what this is all about. I mean, we're going to be in the future talking about back when cancer used to be a thing, right?
yep.
And that's where we really want to be. That's success to me.
Eric, did you ever imagine that your story would brew this much passion in your dad?
Yeah, I've seen him passionate about some crazy things over the years. So yes, I guess not initially when I was sick, but yeah, no, he's a very passionate individual, and that's how we make a difference. And
Yeah,
he's got the energy, and which is tremendous
yeah,
for sure. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
yes.
I'm sure all of you are aware.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Don't give
it's
away all
awesome
my
though.
secrets.
Yeah.
No, he's fun to work with.
No,
He's
it's
fun to work
special
with.
though, for
He's
sure.
got a drive like I've never seen, but he's fun to work with.
We
Um,
get stuff done. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Well, we have about 10 minutes left, 5, 10 minutes left. Let's talk about our our goals moving forward. So we would like to see this program obviously blow up. Our goal, we don't make anything off of this. Our goal is just to provide resources. Like as a company, that we're just trying to provide resources and provide help, and to make a difference, prevent all cancer deaths that we can, both in dogs and humans. But in particularly for this cancer dogs in the dog program. Um, Probably going to see us start to industry events all over the place and having volunteers show up and places all over, all over the United States for right now. Jim, do you have any other like major goals that we want to discuss now? Are we ready to talk about the other goals? Did I lose Jim?
He just looks muted. I see him still there.
Our service up there is really bad. I drove away from the house for a little bit, so he might just be frozen.
Yeah.
How's that? Is it better?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So my biggest thing I would like to point out to get this point across is that don't wait till your dog gets sick. Be smart, be proactive, understand what's going on and how cancer works. And the big picture is when you prevent cancer, next thing you know, you're going to be healthier than you've ever been in your life. And it means, you know what? There's a good chance that you won't get cancer then. So do that for your dog. Help us do that. So you can start the program, you can start the diet, get them on some raw diet. Paw Treat is an excellent partner of ours. Eric has been working with them. Actually, his girlfriend worked there for a couple of years, and the product's really good quality. And like I say, get them on a good diet. Get them on something that's raw, or lightly cooked. Talk to your veterinarian about it, but don't. The veterinarian should not be the gospel. The veterinarian should just be a guideline for you to bounce stuff off of. But be creative. Consider using what we're doing, which is a crowdsourcing concept, which to me makes sense because it allows you to talk to other people that had the exact same thing going on with their pup. So, like I said, that's what I like to get the point across: is don't wait till it's too late. So everybody's a partner of ours right now. Anybody could be a patient.
Yeah. Anybody can be a patient. We are collecting associates all over the place. So if you are a veterinary clinic listening and you are interested in meeting up with our team and having a discussion, we are welcome to that. That sums up everything I had for today. Does anybody have any closing statements?
I'll just reiterate, Paws in the City will be at Deep Ellum Brewing Company in Dallas, Sunday from noon to 4 with some pups and info. And if you want to help donate, we'd love to take your donation.
Did I read something about a stuffed animal or dog toy?
Yeah, they have dog toys that are real popular. We obviously get a proceed of the dog toys, and there's also proceeds to the amount of beer you consume. So that's always an easy way to donate.
The double sell. Double sell. Yeah. Awesome dog toys and great beer. Deep Ellum's a great brewery.
Hey,
a lot of fun down
and
there.
if you work with Paws, you get a puppy like this.
Nice,
there
Kira.
you go.
Yeah, Kira is a Paws puppy, and I've had her 4 years. She is on THC right now. We just went for a huge walk. She's just chilling, man. There's nothing wrong with this dog. She's happy as can be. Her coat is just amazing. She had a couple little lumps on her. I got a little worried. I waited too long. Honestly, she had a skin tag. The doctor wanted to cut it off. The vet literally said, let's bring her in this Friday, cut it off. So I called my friend up that's actually working with us. It's called the Healing Project. They are awesome, and they'll be on next week. And they said, get her on some of the medicine we sent you. So I was like, well, that makes sense. Started giving her some THC, small doses. Then I started pumping it up a little bit better. 3 days later, the skin tag was gone. So I called the vet and I said, hey, I don't need to come in Friday. She goes, what's up? I said, skin tag's gone. They were going to cut it off, literally bring her in, put her under anesthesia, and cut this skin tag off, and then sew it up and do all this crap. And now, by putting her on this program, which we promote through crowdsourcing, it's gone completely. And now this is her life going forward. Raw food and plant-based medicine, man.
Yeah.
She has a personal chef, it sounds like.
I love cooking. I love cooking for Kara. Yeah. And try it, man. It's a beautiful thing. Paws in the City is like that's how Eric got his dog too. And what they can do is find you a puppy that really fits what you're looking for. And you're going to get a pup that's actually been through hell. Probably they weren't a perfect pup when they went into Paws. They had some kind of issue going on, and then they're fixed, and then they're the best possible dogs they can ever be. So
yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up. It's often unknown why it takes so long, or there's a misconception of why it takes so long to get, from the time you put an application in to you actually have a pup. And there's a reason for that. I mean, we're filtering out, the emotional, we'll say, adopters, emotional buyers, but also, all of the dogs go through medical and all the dogs go through training. So we want to make sure that it's a good fit for you and that the dog has been socialized, the animal has been through any kind of behavioral things it needs to go through. So all this takes time. You're not shopping for a puppy in the window. That's not the organization we run. That's not how we operate. So, just be aware that's part of the reason for the delay.
And we couldn't have picked a better partner, Josh. Honestly, it's just awesome. And Eric, you have any closing statements?
I think y'all both covered it pretty well, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of future Paws events coming up. Obviously looking for donations going into the new year, and we're going to have some fresh merch on our website soon as well.
Ooh,
so keep an eye out for that. And, some really
Oh,
nice stuff coming our way, and awesome event, Jamie. Thanks for putting this all together again, and I won't
Thank
be
you
late
guys
next
for
time.
joining us. Oh no, you're fine. Thank you for I know how busy you guys are, so thank you guys for taking a pause to just come on and talk about what we're doing. For everybody who's watching, we intend on doing this weekly. It may not be the same faces every week. We have other associates that are going to be joining us as well. But this, we intend on having this podcast weekly. Thank you guys, everybody who's watching and commenting. We see you. We appreciate you. Like and share, please.
And if you don't, feck off.
That's a great outro.
On
Nice
that
note.
Feck off Friday.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Cool. Thanks, Josh. See you, Jamie.
Bye.